Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you're watching this morning of release, you're looking at a world premiere. The embargo has just lifted, and I can finally talk about this 2025 yellow gold 10-piece limited edition from the revived Gerald Genta. This is the Coussin Repetition Minute, a cushion-cased minute repeater that channels the heritage of the Gerald Genta brand. A little bit of history. The original Gerald Genta brand was founded in 1969 by its namesake. In 1981, it moved into ultra-thin minute repeaters, and through the 1980s and the early 1990s, it was Genta and not Patek Philippe, which was the go-to for those who wanted minute repeaters, as quite often, Gerald Genta would produce multiples of the numbers of repeater that Patek was making per year in that day. Now, in the mid-90s, Genta and Daniel Roth, which were operating out of the same facilities, were sold to the Hourglass, an East Asian dealer, and they in turn sold it to Bulgari in 2000. Both brands taken to the House of Bulgari, mostly phased out after 2010. 2011, LVMH takes control of Bulgari, and in 2019, the Gerald Genta brand returns in the form of the 50th anniversary watch, by retrograde jump hour. Well, now Gerald Genta, as a brand, is returning in force to the minute repeater segment with this watch. So, a timepiece made in 10 pieces in 3N yellow gold. It is 40 millimeters in diameter. I measure it 9.7 millimeters thick, and then 45.3 from mono-lug to mono-lug. This watch is not a re-edition or a retro piece in the sense that it's a revival of something previous. It channels the history, but the movement is all new, the case is all new, the dial is all new. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see it wears quite nicely. It is very flat, so no issues with a cuff there. And you can see that the lugs are so far inboard of the edge of my wrist that, I mean, if you just look at where the case itself is, never mind the lugs, this would wear on a lady's wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, and my wrist is 16. So I like everything I see so far. The mono lugs, beloved of Gerald Genta, the man, and previously featured on many of his cushion case complications back during the 1980s heyday of Gerald Genta complicated watchmaking. We have this lovely, buttery, soft calfskin strap in matte black with a monotone stitch, folded edge, a little bit of stuffing or bolstering to give it thickness, buttery soft calfskin on the bottom. You could see Gerald Genta, factory branded, and then a buckle featuring a double gadroon, which echoes the design of the bezel. The case is beautiful with the distinction of polish and satin, breaking up its mass so that it looks even finer than it is, and it is quite fine. 9.7 millimeters. They claim 9.6. I measure 9.7, and that's quite good. Most brands dramatically understate the thickness of their watch. This is pretty much dead on. So we have the mid-case defined by the overlapping gadroon of the case back and the two gadroons of the bezel, and then we have an onyx cabochon on the crown and an onyx dial to celebrate Gerald Genta, the man who loved stone dials. Malachite, tiger's eye, onyx, turquoise, lapis, and many others. The nice thing about onyx here is that you get the glassy, absolutely seamless luster of lacquer, but with something that requires the work of a lapidary, a specialist in stone dial fabrication and finishing. So lacquer would have been the cheapest route here. Onyx, right up there with enamel, quite difficult to do, but unlike enamel, the result is perfectly glassy and mirrored. Enamel typically has some distinct orange peel texture. Now you could trace the contour of the chemin de fer outboard, the railroad track minutes, black background, white on top, and you can see how it ebbs and flows as it arcs around the dial. A nice little piece of detail. Taking a quick look at the indices, you can see that they and the hands are 3N yellow gold, and we have minimal branding. A dial with less text, always welcome in this era of overprinting. Turning it all over, you can see that the movement is no longer the original 2.72 millimeter thick Gerald Genta ultra-thin minute repeater movement, because while that was thin, fine, and a record breaker in its time, it was also known to be relatively fragile. This is a much more robust modern construction by La Fabrique du Temps, and that's not something that they're trying to hide under the table or overlook or gloss over in any way, because you can see LFDT signs the movement right below the balance cock. They're quite proud of the work done by Enrico Barbacini and Michel Navas, and Navas actually has history historically with the Gerald Genta company, recalling the days when it was the foremost producer of minute repeaters and sonnerie watches in Switzerland, in fact the world. So if you wanted a grande sonnerie, if you wanted a répétition minute, you would go to them. The watch, of course, here with a larger modern caliber, 32.4 millimeters in diameter. It's not ultra thin like the old one, but again, the old one was very delicate. This is 5.46 millimeters thick. So the movement is strong enough with the free sprung balance that you can really just wear this every day and not be too concerned. So it's 3 hertz beat rate, 32 joules, uncompromising 6-position adjustment, which is what you expect on the very finest watches. Remember, chronometer is 5 positions, so is high horology. Vacheron is 5, Longa is 5, chronometer is 5. This is a 6-position test, 32 joule movement with the free sprung balance allowing for more precise adjustment, but also greater shock resistance. The single barrel, manual wind, 80 hours of power reserve. And then if you look, some of the details here are quite appreciated. Look at the shape of the frame that covers the regulator. You can see that it's actually a rounded off octagon, as the octagonal shape was a recurring motif in Gerald Genta watches, both under his own name and for other famous brands. Now, the case is a fascinating piece because it's been internally drilled out and evacuated to create as many hollows as possible and deaden the sound as little as possible. So the case itself has been drilled out to the point that its thinnest components are actually 0.6 millimeters thick, and a thinner sapphire has been used here. It is 0.8 rather than the standard 1 millimeter, and so we have a lot of optimization to channel the sound. The other thing is that the gongs are not just fixed to the base plate, they're fixed directly to the case, so better able to conduct sound. Taking a quick look before we fire it up, you can see that the bevels are uncompromising, hand-finished, broad, rounded, and mirrored, and that we have the same attention to detail and beveling within all of the jewel sinks. Take a quick look and you can see there's actually a golden chaton set in sapphire that acts as the upper pivot for the governor, and then we have beautiful abrasive wheel stripes laid down perfectly parallel across the bridges, engine turning in several sizes on the base plate with satination on the wheels, and if you get very close, you can see there's even a little bit of beveling inside the wheels themselves, with all screw heads black polished with chamfered slots and circumference. Taking a look at the barrel, you can see it features solarization on its cover, which is a lovely touch, and then this beautiful Fabrique du Temps signature winding click, which is both the click and the spring. That's done for both aesthetics and for feel. Take a look at the strikers. You can see in steel they are mirror polished on their tops, and they're beveled on their sides with the side bevels drawn out to tapered points, which is always difficult to do. And you can see here interior angles. I'm glad you asked. Here they are, nicely executed. So let's fire this up. Let's see if I can get this watch. By the way, this watch is a demonstration piece, so if you see something you don't love, don't worry. Production models will be even better. Okay, so the best thing you can do with a minute repeater, if you want to show off to your friends, set it to 1259. Theoretically, that should be the maximum strike. Of course, this is an LFDT piece. We've seen this same basic movement, Ralph Lauren, Laurent Ferrier, many other high horology efforts, and it's finally found a home in a watch that is made entirely by Fabrique du Temps and Louis Vuitton. So the Coussin Répétition Minute, now available, only 10 pieces in yellow gold, 3 in yellow gold with Onyx dial. Reach out to me, Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.